My wife's betrayal shattered me in ways I didn't know were possible. When I discovered she was having an affair with her boss, the world I had built around us collapsed overnight. I didn't shout, I didn't beg, and I didn't ask for explanations. I simply packed my bags and walked away from the marriage. We had spent 8 years building. The pain was sharp, but something inside me whispered that leaving was the only way to survive. I moved to another city, started from scratch, and promised myself I would never look back. The next few years were a storm of hard work and silent healing. I poured everything I had into my career, working day and night until I climbed high enough to be noticed by companies far bigger than the ones I'd known before. Success didn't erase the hurt, but it gave me a purpose, a direction, and the strength to move forward. Each achievement felt like a brick in the new life I was constructing, one that didn't depend on anyone else's loyalty. 7 years passed before fate pulled a strange twist. I was appointed the new CEO of a major branch under a corporation that had recently merged with another. I studied the organizational chart, preparing to meet the heads of each department. That's when my heart froze for a moment. Her name was there, my ex-wife, still working for the same man she had betrayed me with, still part of the same company, completely unaware of the storm about to walk back into her life. On my first day, I walked into the conference room and saw her sitting at the table, her eyes glued to her laptop. When she finally looked up, the color drained from her face. 7 years had changed both of us, but the shock in her eyes told me she recognized me instantly. She opened her mouth, maybe to speak, maybe to apologize, or maybe to deny, but I simply gave a polite nod and took my seat at the head of the table. The room fell silent. She wasn't just seeing me again. She was seeing the man who now had authority over her entire department. Over the next weeks, she tried several times to talk to me privately, but I kept things strictly professional. I wasn't there to seek revenge or reopen old wounds. The past was dead to me, yet she struggled under the weight of her own guilt. I could see it in every meeting, every hesitant glance, every quiet moment when she realized I wasn't going to give her the closure she suddenly wanted. She had made her choices, and now she was living with their consequences in the most unexpected way. Slowly, the workplace adjusted, though she could never look at me without the memory of what she had done. I remained calm, fair, and distant, treating her no differently than any other employee. Some scars don't disappear, but they stop hurting when you stop touching them. I had built a life without her, and I wasn't going to let the past derail it again. If anything, seeing her now only reminded me of how far I had risen after she left me broken. In the end, I didn't return to punish her. I returned because life had carried me forward. She lost her power over me the day I walked out 7 years ago. Now I was the one in control, not of her, but of my own destiny. And that, more than any revenge, was the victory I never knew I needed.